Assalamualaikum and hi. The aviation sector plays a crucial role in a country's economic development. It stimulates other sectors such as tourism, hospitality, and trade. It provides important transportation for tourism and contribute multiplier effect to the local economy, contributing the third largest in the gross domestic product. Malaysia Airlines Berhad were established in 1 May 1947, 70 years ago, as Malayan Airways. The company, Malaysia Airlines Berhad, MAB, commenced operation as the national carrier on 1st September 2015, when Malaysia Airlines System, MAS, was dissolved from Bursa Malaysia in 2014, and subsequently ceased operations on August 31st, 2015. Malaysia Airlines Berhad vision is to become an airline of excellence. Malaysia Airlines Berhad has won numerous awards from the aviation industry, being crowned the world 5-star airlines by Skytrax multiple times in 2009 and 2012 and 2013, and recognition from the World Travel Awards as Asia Leading Airlines in 2010, 2011, and 2013. Malaysia Airlines Berhad fly to over 374 destinations worldwide, including most popular city domestic and international before the COVID-19 outbreak. The number of passengers in the Asia Pacific district for all airlines will come to 3.9 billion by the year in 2037, estimated by the International Air Transport Association, ITA, in 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic brought unprecedented impact to the tourism industry, especially airlines and hotel businesses. The airline sector faces one of the greatest challenges in the history. The financial performance and cash flow of Malaysia Airlines Berhad was severely impacted due to travel and border restriction implemented by many countries around the world. Malaysia Airlines Berhad struggled as the airline share price has fallen 50% and more percent in third quarter 2020 due to COVID-19 outbreak. According to the company financial statement, at the same time last year, Malaysia Airlines Berhad alone forked out 294 million ringgit Malaysia in refund for 1,090 customers whose flights were cancelled. The objective of this case study is to examine the challenges encountered by Malaysia Airlines Berhad and search for the best solution to survive during the COVID-19 pandemic. Based on our research that we have collected accurate information on how effectively Malaysia Airlines Berhad handled the problems they have faced. Due to the outbreak of COVID-19, most of the companies faced numerous challenges. The airline industry is one of the greatly affected fields. Malaysia Airlines Berhad, as one of the well-known airlines, was also impacted. Some research has been carried out to study the impact of COVID-19 pandemic and the survival of Malaysia Airlines Berhad with its strengths and competitive strategy.
The airline business is not easy to run, and it is hard to make it profitable. There are a lot of challenges to encounter along with but it is necessary to have them. Otherwise, how do we cross the seas, ocean, and mountain? From travel restriction to flight cancellation, the airline industry have been the hardest hit industry during the COVID-19 pandemic. Since the introduction of the movement control order, airline companies nationwide have been forced to halt their operation and ground large part of their fleets. Malaysia Airlines has cancelled over 4,000 flights due to adjusting their low-load flights by cancelling and merging them to manage costs while their customer expectation during COVID-19. Low demand of flight is another challenge that Malaysia Airlines need to face during COVID-19. Under the nationwide movement restriction order, Malaysia citizens are not allowed to leave the country, while those abroad are allowed to return will be subject to medical screening procedures upon arrival and self-quarantine for 14 days. Meanwhile, foreign nationals are not allowed to enter the country, but those in Malaysia are allowed to leave just to go back to their own country. Lastly, travel bans and plummeting demand around the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic have put the loss-making national carrier at risk of bankruptcy. According to Financial Daily The Age, Malaysia Aviation Group Chief Financial Officer Boh Hui Yi reportedly told Malaysia Airlines 13,000 staff that the national carrier was not different than many airlines globally now at risk. Malaysia Airlines, which from the beginning of the MCO has scaled down its operation, introduced a salary cut and offered unpaid leaves to over 13,000 of its employees, is now undergoing an urgent restructuring exercise to ensure
Now
its
I'm going to talk about ethical issues. Ethical issues occurs when a given decision, scenario, or activity creates a conflict with the society's moral principles. Both individuals and business can be involved in these conflicts, since any of their activities might be put to questions from an ethical standpoint. Individuals are subject to these issues in their relationship with other individuals or in their relationship with organizations, and same goes for organizations. One of the ethical issues that Malaysia Airlines faced during the COVID-19 outbreak is Operation Down. From travel restrictions to flight cancellations, the airline industry has been the hardest hit industry during the COVID-19 pandemic. Travel restrictions imposed internationally and locally as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic that have led to flight cancellations in Malaysia. Following the movement control order by Malaysia government on 18th March until 31st March of 2020, Malaysia Airlines reduced its overall network. International flight to India between 17 March until 31st March of 2020 and Philippines from 21st March until 31st March of 2020 are being suspended following the government's ban on travel in and out Malaysia. Prior to the order, Malaysia Airlines has suspended services to Saudi Arabia, South Korea, as well as Beijing and Kota Kinabalu to Shanghai. Malaysia Airlines, which from the beginning of the movement control order has scaled down its operation by making a capacity cut. Malaysia Airlines also reduced the capacity to Australia and New Zealand due to self-isolation policy of these two countries. Malaysia Airlines have had to make a last-minute flight cancellations to abide by the restrictions, which is unethical for the passengers that already paid for the flight that being cancelled. Malaysia Airlines received 25,000 number of calls daily and up to 2,000 emails daily just in 3 weeks' time. Malaysia Airlines Global Contact Center takes a lot longer to process each request due to the high volume of calls and emails that causing the passengers anxiety concerning to their bookings. Another ethical issue that occurs to Malaysia Airlines during COVID-19 pandemic is employee layoff. Malaysia Airlines asked 30,000 of its employees to take voluntary unpaid leave as the spread of coronavirus caused a very serious matter on airline industry bottom line. Malaysia Airlines has offered all employees the option of taking 3 months of unpaid leave or 5 days of unpaid leave per month for at least 3 months, starting from April 2020. This is in line with Malaysia Airlines reduced operation following a capacity management exercise due to COVID-19. Malaysia Airlines Group CEO, Captain Isham Ismail announced a 10% pay cut for its senior management as part of measures to lower operational costs. They will also forego their allowance. This happened because of the impact of COVID-19 to the markets is very tremendous. People are not traveling, business not operating as they used to be, and the aviation landscape has changed dramatically. The national airline financial was in crisis and not in a very good performance. There is no other way that they can do but to downsize the number of their employees to save some cost, and as you can see here, the decision taken to simply downsizing the employee is undeniably unethical.
I would like to propose the efforts taken by leadership in the organizations to deal with challenges that arise. So, the organization need to boil their brain during the pandemic to recover from their loss. First thing first, Malaysia Airlines Berhad obligate the crew to do swab test and vaccinate. Malaysia Airlines always prepared to welcome the passengers on board, so that their cabin crew are fully vaccinated and dressed in personal protective equipment (PPE) to get ready to serve and assist the passengers. Malaysia Airlines also reserve the rights to refuse the passengers with health condition, especially during COVID-19, which may pose a risk to flight safety. Passenger flying with or after an illness, infection in which the flight environment may be a health risk to others on board. Malaysia Airlines is awarded as the full 7-star rating by airlineratings.com for their COVID-19 health and safety measures. Malaysia Airlines remain committed in offering the highest standard of safety and hygiene. Malaysia Airlines remind all passengers to comply strictly to the measures in place so that you can fly confidently with them. Malaysia Airlines crew and passengers are required to bring and wear face masks before boarding and throughout the duration of the flight. The next efforts that taken by the leadership is Malaysia Airlines extend their booking period flight tickets or longer their ticket validity. Malaysia Airlines ticket change policy offer passengers the freedom and flexibility to rebook their tickets due to the travel restrictions currently in place. Due to the continued impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, Malaysia Airlines was extending its open ticket flexibility on all types of tickets issued from 30 June 2020 for travels between 1st January 2020 and 27th March 2021. With the open ticket flexibility, passengers are entitled to unlimited date change and the flexibility to change their destination. The next efforts that taken by the leadership is Malaysia Airlines and MIDA, Malaysian Investment Development Authority, partners to support business continuity growth. This is one of the strategy for Malaysia Airlines continues to evolve and adapt to the changing times and market demands by refocusing to be business ready. Hence, Malaysia Airlines remains among MIDA's key strategic partners as both organizations share similar goals of bringing the world to Malaysia towards driving long-term growth of the country during COVID-19. MIDA also has appointed a special team of Malaysia Airlines cabin crew to act as liaison officers and duty officers to actively support the cabin crew during COVID-19 when they're forced to take unpaid leave. Apart from that, those who forced to take unpaid leave can work as a liaison officer and duty officer.
Now I'm going to explain about the company's corporate social during the pandemic. In a bid to support the nation's biggest COVID-19 immunization drive, Malaysia Aviation Group (MAG) has mobilized 80 employees from across the group volunteer at 2 of the mega vaccination centers in Axiata Arena Bukit Jalil and KL Convention Centre beginning 7 until 18 June 2021. Airline staff have stepped up as volunteer at COVID-19 vaccine centers amid the nationwide vaccination program. Malaysia Airlines, Firefly and Air Asia have all mobilized their employees to help out with non-medical duties at vaccination centers (PPV) in the country. Their duties include grading and assisting people with the registration, making announcement and briefing on any possible symptoms. The next one is Malaysia Aviation Group welcomes Ramadan by helping others. In embracing the spirit of giving during Ramadan, Malaysia Aviation Group sponsor Malaysia Airlines in-flight products consisting of 3,500 sleeping masks and Dilmatis for frontliners and COVID-19 patients currently being quarantined for COVID-19 at My Age Quarantine in Serdang. Last but not least, Malaysia Airlines is reinstating some of its international flights between April to May 2020 to bring home travelers and families who are stuck abroad due to travel restrictions imposed by many countries due to the coronavirus outbreak.
Comparing to many airlines operating nowadays, Malaysia Airlines Berhad MAB is considered as a successful business with great brand. This study mainly indicates the challenges encountered by Malaysia Airlines Berhad and search for the best solution to survive during the COVID-19 pandemic. During COVID-19 pandemic, Malaysia Airlines Berhad faced huge numbers of lost passengers, booked seat to the travel, and flight cancellation caused financial problems. Moreover, many governments around the world restricted publics to air travel to other countries too. Since COVID-19 cases at Malaysia is under control at the starting of October 2021, Malaysia government allow people to air travel worldwide with standard operating procedure (SOP). Malaysia Airlines Berhad have taken efforts that needed during the COVID-19 pandemic as mentioned in just now to survive successfully in the COVID-19 pandemic. At last but not least, airline industry should continue to focus on customer service at every level of a passenger's journey, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Provide the best customer service for passenger and all routes and classes of travel and improve online services with a focus.